Hello all. Now let us discuss about control structures topic in embedded C. So in this topic now we are going to discuss about conditional flow. In that conditional flow we will discuss about the cases if else and nested if and switch case statements we will discuss. After that we will discuss about loop controls, that means for loop, while loop and do while loop. After that we will discuss about unconditional control statements, that means break, continue and return. Okay. Now let us discuss about conditional flow. In conditional flow, the selection involves maybe one condition or number of conditions which decides the next execution statement. Example, if condition. In case of if condition, if the condition is true, then it will execute the block of code which we have written in the for the true condition. In case if the condition is not true, that means if the condition is false, then it will skip that block of codes and then it will execute the rest of the code. In case of if else, in the else case, that means if the condition is false also, we are going to execute some block of code. And similarly nested if also there, nested if also will be there. That means inside if we can create again if else. And similarly inside else we can create if conditions. Okay, now let us see one program for that. So this is one example for checking the if condition. Here I am declaring one variable marks which is of data type integer, and I have to enter the marks from the terminal, and if the marks is greater than 36, then I am going to print your pass for the entered marks. Okay, here I have not used the else condition, but in practical cases there may be chance for else condition. In case if the marks is less than 36, it has to be happen, that will come under else condition, which we will see in the next program. First let me run this. Now let me compile. You can observe I have not provided any name for the executable file, so that's why it has created as a.out. Now /a.out. It is asking enter an integer. Suppose I am entering the value 69. Now this if condition has been satisfied, as in my if condition I have selected if marks is greater than 36. As it is true, it executes this block of code which is printing your pass for entered marks. Okay, and I have not provided any statement for false, so it will skip that block of code, and the rest, if any code is there, it will go and execute that code. Okay. Now let us see the example of if else. Here now for the same code I have added else condition also. In this case, in else I have given one statement for printf statement like better like next time. Okay. Now if the marks, if I have entered the marks less than 36, then it has to execute this statement. Now let me run this code. Now let me compile it. GCC space Now if you observe, this a dot out is there. Previously I have compiled for if condition, I have compiled, I have got a dot out. Now again I have compiled for gcc space if else con dot c. For that C file I have compiled. Here also I have not provided name for my output executable. So what it will happen, it will overwrite the previous a dot file. Okay, now let me run this. Enter an integer, let me enter 25. You can observe now it has executed this else block. That means my condition has been failed. In case of failed, what is the block of code it has to execute? That code has been executed. Okay. Next, let us see about nested if else. Sorry, nanospace. Now in this case what I have done is, if marks is greater than 36, I have checked some more conditions. That means whether the marks is in the range of 36 to 50, or whether the marks is in the range of 50 to 75, or is marks is greater than 75. So I am checking these conditions. In those conditions I have written the statement, printf statements like if marks is less than 50, performance is average. If it is less than 75, performance is good. If it is greater than 75, performance is very good. Okay. So now what will happen, if I have entered the mark suppose 60, then first it will, this condition, this if condition is true, then it will enter into this true block of code. This is a code when we are executing when the condition is true. So now it will check my marks is 60, which is less than 50. No, this condition is false, so it will go to else. So in this, here we are using else if. That means if condition is failed, then it will check this else if condition. Then if this else if condition is also fails, next it will come to this else condition. In else if 60 is less than 75, yes, it is true, so it will execute the printf statement, performance is good for 60 marks. Okay. Then as it has satisfied this else if condition, so it will come out of this if loop. Now let me run this and let us observe. First let me compile. Now let me run. I am entering an integer 60. So the performance is good for 60 marks. Suppose if you have entered greater than 75, example I am entering 80. Now performance is very good for 80 marks. Now let me enter the another condition 48. Performance is average for 48 marks. If it is less than 36, then it has to print like better like next time. 27. Better like next time. Okay. So now let us discuss about the switch case. If we are using if condition, then the code will be small. If else, it has increased a little bit. Next, nested if else's, if we are using, then for looking the code, the size it is increasing, and for analyzing also, maybe the complexity also it may increase. So in case of if we are using more nested if else's, then in that case the complexity will increases. So to overcome that, we can use switch case statements. In the switch case, what it will happen is, for switch, it will evaluate one expression. That means, suppose here one variable is there, or suppose you can provide some conditions also. That means inside of switch of this one value will be there, right? It will check with the cases. Suppose case 1 is there. Similarly, case 1, it will check after the case statement, there will be one value will be there. It will check whether these two values are same or not. If it is same, then it will execute the block of code present for this case, or otherwise it will check the next case whether this value is equal to this case value. If it is matches, then it will execute this case statement. Like that, you can provide multiple case statements. But remember, while providing the switch case, you just try to provide the default also. What this default will do is, in case if none of the cases has been matched, that means in case if none of the cases values are not matched with this switch value, then this default what you have provided, that code will get executed. You can observe that one in this flow diagram. Switch expression will be there. So here you will get one value. It will check for case 1 whether this case value is same as this switch value. If it is same, then it will execute block 1. Then we will try to terminate. Then we will come out of this switch case. Or in case if this case 1, this is condition for true, this is condition for false. Okay. In case this case 1 value is not equal to switch value, then it will come and check for next case. If case 2 is satisfied, then it will execute for block 2 and it will come out the switch case. If not happen, at which case value it is same as the switch value, that block of code will get executed and then it will come out switch case. In case if no cases are not matched, then default will be there. That default case, it will execute that block of codes and it will come out of the switch case. Now let us see one example. Suppose, now let me open the switch case, ls, nanospace. Now here I have entered in the printf statement, do you want to continue to new block? If he has entered, let me move the cursor. If they have entered y, that means they want to enter into new block. Or if they have entered n, that means it is for no. That means they want to skip that block of code. Now this input I am taking using scanf and I am saving this input as single character into variable input of character data type. Now I am checking in switch input. If it is y, then I am printing entering into new block. Here in practical cases, instead of this printf statement, for that new block cases, what are the code is present, we will try to write that code. If they have entered n, that means I am printing skipping new block. In case apart from y, capital Y or capital N, if they have entered other values, then I am going to printf options y or n only available. Okay. So now let me run this code. First let me compile. Here it has displayed, do you want to continue to new block? If you want to enter y, that means it is going into the first case. Now my input value is y, so the switch value is capital Y. So it will check with the cases at which case value it has been matched. Where it has matched, that block of code it will execute. You can observe here entering into new block. So now let me run and let me check the other case values also. Now I have entered input value n. So skipping new block. Let me enter A. You can observe options y or n only available. This is the default case statement. Okay. So in this way you can use the switch case. So next we will discuss about loop control. If you want to iterate the block of code in number of times, then in those cases we are using the loop control statements. Some of the loop control conditions are using for loop or while loop or do while loop. Now let us see the examples and what is the syntax of that one and how they will behave. In case of for loop, 3 statements we are providing for this for loop. The first one is initialization. Second one is condition, and third one is updation. This initialization is not mandatory. If you are initialized the value before for loop, that one also it is okay. So this is like optional. The next condition, that means to enter into this for loop and to execute this block of code, it has to satisfy this condition. Next one is updation. Updation means when it enters into this block of code, as we know, if this condition is true once and if we are not updating any variable related to this condition, then what it will happen? This loop will become infinite loop. Okay, so to avoid the infinite loop, we have to update its value. So inside the for loop, if we are going to update the value, then there is no need to provide the updation value at here. Or otherwise, we can provide the updation value in for only. So these initialization and condition and updation values we are separating by semicolon. This is separator. Okay. Now in case of while, what it will happen is, so before using while only you have to initialize, and the condition while it will check for condition. If this condition is true, then it will execute the body of the loop. That means if this condition is true, what is the code it has to execute? It will execute that block of code. Then we have to update that value, right? That updation we have to do inside the while loop only. Updation also should be in this body of while loop. Okay. In case of do while, we will initialize first and then the do for, that means the first time it will do without checking any condition itself. Okay, then it will execute the body of the loop once, then in the while it will check for condition. If the condition is true, then it will go and execute again, or if it is false, then it will come out. This is for true, this is for false. Okay, so if you observe in the do while, whether the condition is true or false, it will execute at least once. Now let us see the codes for these loop controls. Let me clear my screen. Let me enter into the loop directory. Now first let me open the for loop file. you can observe this is my code for explaining about for loop. Here I have declared one variable I have just declared, I have not initialized any value. Okay. Now in the for loop I am initializing. This is one way, or otherwise you can declare the value at here itself and there will be no need of any initialization. Like this also it will be okay. Sorry. You can declare you can initialize before the for loop, or in the for loop also you can initialize. Now the second one is checking the condition. Here the value of I equal to 1. Next condition is I is less than 10. Yes, this condition is true. Then it will execute the block of code. Here the code is printf I value is. So next is, after executing this block of code, it will come to updation I++. Okay, so it will come and check I++. So I value will become 2. Then it will come and check the condition. I is less than 10. That means 2 is less than 10. Yes, the condition is true. So it will execute this printf statement. Next again I++. 3 is less than 10. Like that till I equal to 9, it will execute this for loop. Next I equal to I+1. That means I++. So I value is 10. So this condition has been failed. So it will come out of that loop. So for I equal to 10, this printf statement won't execute. If you want to understand the syntax, for initialization, condition, updation. Suppose this is my block of code. First initialization will happen, then it will come for condition, then it will execute the block of code, then it will go for updation. Okay, after updation it will check for condition. Okay, so now let us try to run this code. First let me create executable. Okay, created. So if you observe, it is printing I value from 1 to 9, like as we have discussed. For I value 10, the condition fails, so it will come out of that for loop. Okay. So now let us see the same example in case of while loop. Here I have initialized the value of I equal to 10, and inside my while loop I am decrementing the value. Here the updation is I equal to I minus minus. The condition is I is greater than 1 and the initialization is I equal to 10. Okay. So now let me run this while loop code. Let me create executable first. You can observe I value is 10 to I value is 2, then I minus minus, then I value equal to 1. Then in the if condition, while I is greater than 1, so the condition is failed because I value is 1. 1 is greater than 1, fail. That means false. So it will come out of the 1 is greater than 1, the condition is false. So it will come out of that while loop. So now let us discuss about do while program. So here if you observe, the initialization I made as I equal to 4. In the do while loop, I made I minus minus. That means I am decrementing the value of I. So the I value will be 3. So it will print in the first iteration I value is 3. It will print I value is 3. So it will print the I value is 3, and then it will come and check condition 3 is greater than 1. Yes, the condition is true. Then it will go back and it will execute this code. That means I equal to 2. So I value is 2. Next 2 is greater than 1. Yes, the next I value is 1. So next 1 is greater so next the condition is 1 is greater than 1. No, the condition is fails. So it will come out of this loop. Okay. So now let me execute the do while. Now let me run this. You can observe the I value is 3, I value is 2, and I value is 1. Okay. So this is about loop control. That means how to create a loop based upon certain condition. Okay. When you are creating a loop, it should not go to the infinite loop. That means always the condition is true. That should not happen. At one point of time the condition has to be fail. Then only it will come out of the loop. So next is unconditional control. Here we are going to discuss about break and continue and about return. In case of break, what it will happen is, the moment we have reached the break statement, then it will come out of that loop. Okay. So suppose one example, here we have initialized some value and condition. The condition is true. So inside the loop we are checking for another condition. In that condition we have created the break statement. So if this condition has been true, then it will come and execute this block of code. Then the moment break is encountered, then it will come out of that loop. So it will skip all these steps. In case if this break statement is not there, that means suppose the condition to break is not true, that means this condition has been failed, then it will execute the remaining statements. Then in that case it will come and update, and then it will check for the condition. Then again this loop will get iterated. Okay. So the moment break statement is encountered, then the control will come out of that loop. Similarly, in case of continue, instead of coming out of that loop, it will go for the next iteration. That means the moment the continue statement has been encountered, then it will skip the remaining part in that iteration only. In that iteration it will skip, and again it will go for updation, and then it will go for condition, and then again it will start execute. Okay. Similarly, in case of while also, it will come after continue statement, it will come and check the condition. If the condition is true, then it will execute. Okay. That means in case of continue statement, the rest of the code present in that iteration it will skip, and then again it will go for that condition checking. Next is about return. In case of return, the moment this return statement has been encountered, then it will returns the control to from where it has this function has been called. Example, here one function fun1 is there. In that I have called func2 function. Okay, so the control will come to here, it will execute some code, then Suppose this condition is fail, it will come to here, then it will return from here. Or otherwise, here in case if this condition is true, then inside this if also I have kept one return statement, right? So the moment this return statement has been encountered, then the control will move from which function it has been called. That means to the function 1. Suppose after 5 statements, this function 2 has been called. This is 6th statement, next one will be 7th statement. Then the control will come to this statement. Suppose if this function is going to return any value, suppose value equal to, then what it is returning, that data is stored in this variable value, and then the control will go to the next statement. Okay, now let us see some examples. So first let us see the code for break statement. So now if you see, I have used same example which we have seen for loop, but inside for loop I have kept one more condition. If I value is 4, then I am just printing break statement encountered, and then I have given the statement break. So what it will happen, it will come out of this for loop. Okay, so now let us execute. So till 4 this loop is iterating, and the moment the value of I equal to 4, this condition will get satisfied, so it will encounter this break statement. Let us see, gcc space break statement.c. Let me run this. So if you see, the I value is 1, it is okay, I value 2, it is okay, I value 3, it is okay. For I value equal to 4, this break statement encountered. So for the break statement, it will come out of that loop. So in case of continue, now let us see the example. In case of continue, what it will happen? It will skip that iteration only, and it will go for condition checking. So what it will happen? It will skip this I equal to 4, it won't print this statement. So next, for I equal to 5, this condition is false, so it will print. Next, I equal to 7, it will print. Now let me create executable for this. Now let me run. If you observe, see here, see, you can observe here, for I equal to 4, it has skipped the iteration. So that's why I value is 4 statement is not printed. So it will go to the next again updation, then checking the condition. So I value is 5, I value is 6 is printed. Now let us check for the return. Here I have created one function, the function name is inside loop. Okay, so in my main function I am creating one variable, and that variable value is I equal to 10. So now in that function I am passing that value, that means inside loop of 10. So that 10 value is saved in this y, and here I am initializing, here on inside for loop only I am declaring and initializing also. I am declaring the I. If you observe, this I is different from this I, because this I is local to this main function only. Here I am declaring and initializing a new variable I equal to 1. So the condition is I is less than 10 and the updation value is I plus plus. So I value equal to 1, it will be okay, this loop will get execute, 2 okay, execute, 3 okay, it will get execute, then I equal to 4, this condition is true, then it will return the value of I. So it will return I equal to 4. So this variable value is 4. So it will printf return value is 4. Now let me run this code. You can observe the return value is 4. Okay. So this is about unconditional controls.